Alright guys, so as you guys can see, I have completed my Master League event, so I don't think I have to go back in to redo it anymore because I have achieved over 150k of my overall points. So that means I am secure to get the season reward, so that's pretty good. So for anyone that is able to reach this score right here, you guys are done for the week, so that's actually pretty nice. So what I actually want to talk about today is the different team options and one of the best team to use. Unfortunately, the best team to use is actually, voila, the Strike Freedom, the Eternal option, because in terms of Eternal and Lacus, they broke the game giving out the highest bonuses possible. So I did actually went ahead and made 4 different setups. These are quote unquote I think are the foremost meta team. I had to, I kind of hate to use the word meta, but these are the most I would say diverse options as far as like what you can use, because as far as like the battleship that's being offered, like the options within those tags, I think they're well versed where if you guys do have at least have those battleship and you guys can use them, because a lot of these units are not necessarily like summonable or by enemies, like you can actually farm them. So I was like, oh, I think this is actually not that bad. But let's talk about the whale team, if you will. So this is I would definitely say this is a pay to win team by any means. So the main core is definitely going to be Justice, Strike Freedom, and then a Freedom. Both of them actually. The other option wise, Sasabi is not necessarily something you need to use. I think maybe a better option is probably Striker Custom if you guys do have it at a higher star, because this one does hit like a truck. And yeah, everyone can tell you that if both Sasabi and Striker Custom was at the same investment, Striker Custom 1000% would hit harder in any given situation. And the fact that the map isn't really big, I mean, like you can definitely go through it. So it's not bad. Striker Custom would have been the better option. As far as like area wise, there's not really another option that I would recommend, due to the fact that, I mean, there is actually Escandem. Escadem has been killing me when I was fighting it. So Escadem maxing out would be a pretty decent option as well. Granted, if you do have the SP conversion, granted if your Escadem is fully limit break, give it a try. It's actually pretty good. But if you don't want to use those options like Wing Zero, Epion, Ultron, like those options could be pretty good as well to fill in your last slots. The one thing you don't want to do is actually use a unit that does not give the applicable buffing, because that unit is outright going to get cooked, because the enemy is actually targeting your lowest mobility unit. So I was like, why on earth is my because I was thinking maybe I pack in like another armor unit. Why don't I put in this guy right here? And we got smoked. So I was like, nah, I can't really do that. But yeah, this team is definitely the definitive answer if we do want to get the scoring. But by no means, you don't need it. You don't need all of this, all right? So this is just kind of like the prime example of like the first team that you would be using. The second team, this team is actually not bad. So I am gonna be giving you guys some different options as far as like the battleship, supporter battleship. So I'm probably gonna be leaving it in the screen so you guys can see what's going on. So this one is the SSR version. There's actually a UR version which I do not have, and that one obviously you guys know the stat wise is just a little bit more. But this team is actually pretty well versed. You have only one summonable, and I'm pretty sure the other, give or take, it might work actually. The best thing about this team actually is the fact that Taliges 2 as a defender unit has rivals. So not only are you getting the unstoppable tag right here, you're also getting the 20% boosting from that. So when you hop in, I'm pretty sure Taliges should be able to withstand some attacks. So actually not a bad option. But if we do take a look at the other option, especially within its own tags, there's some other one as well. If you guys do have the max out, but I wouldn't say is the most extensive roster, unstoppable wise. So I'm like, I don't really know if I can recommend them. Like this one would be good. Like if you guys do want like another DPS option, I feel like G Crux could be good. The exception, you have to have the enemy lure. You have to lure in your enemy because G Crux does not have range. G Crux is probably its main weakness is one weapon being 1 to 2 range. So in order to make this happen, you have to have the enemy attack you first. Then when they're close range, you hit them. You have 2 follow-up attack. Hopefully you have enough juice and to kill them, because if not, you can't really trigger any follow-up attack. But yeah, this team would have been good. And if you were to let's say substitute Exia for G Crux, totally fine. There you go. You can kind of make it like your homemade free to play team, and this one wouldn't work. But the exception, you have to have the battleship. That's kind of like the main thing, right? So yeah, this team would have worked out fine, and I would love to try it, but unfortunately, I would say from what I'm seeing, it may be a little bit impossible because of the enemy I was given. So I might probably reset and see if I can try this team out and see how it works. But definitely, this team with some of the other option could make a break. Going to the third option, I feel like this one is in better hands in my opinion. So this one is the Lightning Fast Tag team. So yeah, obviously this one would have been a very great team because you have some of the strong option. For Barbados, this is a placement for the armor version of the six form. So if you guys are wondering what the heck am I putting on this one, so this one would have been in place for that one, and that one being a armor unit having to support shield would have been a good option as well. And this one is the UR version, and we do have a few that are actually SSR as well. I believe this one is as well. So there's a few. So if you guys don't have the UR version, if you guys have this one, it would have been a great option as well. So that would have been great. And everyone in this team is actually protagonists, or so that's actually is gonna work out just nice. So Unicorn and then Zeta are both more or less close range oriented. So again, you may want to lure in your enemy so you guys can get in those quick snipes and kind of get out of there. Pilot option wise, I don't know if Camille and Benager is like the right option, and even same thing for the Unstoppable team. The reason I say that is not that they're not strong. I think the main goal is to beat the enemy as fast as possible. So if you have a pilot that gives you 2 chance step, I think is much more optimal than these guys having only 1. Like I get probably Camille is just as strong as it is. So if you guys are like saying, yeah, I mean, isn't Camille already strong? So even if like things just go south, like Camille can at least like for sure one shot. I agree with that. So maybe Camille is not like a problem. Like Benager, I would say maybe I would replace it with like Cessna or maybe a Char, giving you 2 follow-up attack. I think it's a little bit on the safer end in my general opinion. But other than that, your general support, New Gundam, Zeta, or yeah, the Zeta is good. They do have a pretty good range on them. So if you do place them nicely, you should be able to get some double up follow-up attack, or not follow-up attack, support attack, and it's going to be fun. And for this last team, I'm sorry, I don't even have this shit, but the applicable word tag for this one is actually tough as nails. So this one, there are a few units that I don't actually have. In replacement for the O, this one would be the supporter O, so that one would be a very good option for this one. And in replacement for the SSR Easy 8, this one will be the UR version. And you guys already know the UR Easy 8 hit like a truck. And given the fact that you do have the supporter, it's actually going to be hitting just like a nuke, actually. So it's going to be great. And this RX-78, just a really tanky armor unit. So this one is going to be able to do the job. And 2 supporters actually pretty good with it, given the range that they're providing, so it's actually not too terrible. This team, I can't really test it out because I don't have all the appropriate unit, but given like the difference option and given how I guess diverse this team could be, I mean this team is not as diverse as I was thinking, but this one is like kind of like the closest team where I feel like people can make it and would do fine, especially having Crossbone, and then the actual Easy 8. I think it's just gonna be fine. But as always, I think the best team is definitely gonna be the one up top. I mean, that's the one I beat it with, and that's the one that has the highest stats. And that's the one everyone is using. So everyone is getting like a bajillion mobility, and they're attacking you, and you just die. Like that happened to me so many times. I was like, that's not fun. But yeah, do definitely let me know which team you guys did use to get all the way up to the Master League. Definitely love to hear. Are there any of you guys out there made it without any of the URs, like just none of them? I definitely love to hear what you guys have, because I'm pretty certain there's gonna be someone out there being able to beat the Master League, be able to land 150k score, and like, yeah, you can do it this way. I'm definitely waiting to see that happen, but yeah, because I'm pretty sure tomorrow when I wake up, I am gonna see that. But other than that, that is pretty much what I have for you guys as far as like the quote unquote best team and different option to use for the Master League. And I'll be catching you guys all on the next one.